5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Broadcasting worldwide from Pandemonium Studios in Cornwall, this is the Wal of Paine show on Phluid FM.
Hello, good evening and welcome to Phluid FM. Leo has just disappeared to go and welcome in our very special guest, Mr. Jack Ryder, has just arrived. How are you, Jack?
Yeah, not too bad at all, thanks.
Excellent. Leo just said, is Jack going to phone when he turns up? And I said, hopefully. And then I just got a message to say, hi, dude, I'm outside. Your mic too, Jack. You're on your broadcasting. Say hi.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. And thanks for listening.
It's going to be good. I'm excited.
Oh,
I'm
good.
excited.
Doesn't take much then.
Well, I tell you what, as we always say, in a packed show, it was funny with Leo behind me now.
Yeah, the looming.
In a packed show coming up tonight, we always say we've got a quiz. We always do a quiz, Jack, so you can take part in the quiz tonight.
Righto.
We do a TrakLink, which is basically 3 tracks that we'll play throughout the evening, and you have to see if you can get the link to them, so you can play along with that tonight as well. You've chosen some songs that we're going to play, which we've got queued up in the playlist as well.
Yep.
What else have we got, Leo? All sorts of bits and pieces, haven't we?
Yes, we've got the remainder of the gig guide for the last week of this month.
We have.
We do indeed, which links in nicely with the other gig guide.
Indeed, yes.
You had to think about that for a second, didn't you?
I did, because also our hot new news this week is, if anybody's bought a copy, we have now got a music column in the Cornish Times.
Yeah.
Well, there you are.
So we can do band reviews. We've opened up the Vision channel, have we not?
Well, yes, that is coming soon. As any of you, sorry, I'm just adjusting my mic there. If any of you checked out our Facebook or socials today, you would have noticed that we had a little bit of downtime on the live streams, because we've just had a snazzy upgrade to a fantastic fibre optic line. So none of you should be seeing any buffering till tonight. But it does mean that hopefully, I'm thinking, fingers crossed, this weekend, our 24/7 video live stream will be back up and running.
Yes,
so you'll be able to tune into both the live audio FM stream and the Vision stream 24/7, any device, anytime, anywhere.
And on Vision, Leo, people will then be able to watch
Stargazer. Yes.
Which would be great.
Yeah, like, I'm hoping, as long as I can get all the editing done, because it's been quite a week. The editing's basically done. I've just got to get it finished up, a couple of last little bits, make sure Stargazer gets to have a little look at it, and hopefully I'll stream it on Saturday for a premiere on Saturday, hopefully, I think 7 till 9 Saturday evening.
All good stuff.
Yeah.
All good stuff. So I'm just sitting looking at Jack. You'll see him now. Everybody that's watching, he's on camera. He's got a wax jacket on. I've just gone down to a t-shirt. I'm wondering, Jack, how long that jacket's going to last.
Probably not long, but I'm an old man and I feel the cold.
It's warm in here, isn't it?
It is a bit warm, yeah.
We reckon it's that new fibre optic speed. It's like really heating stuff up.
I guess, yeah.
We'll play a couple of songs. Before we do, Jack, just tell the viewers why you're here and what you're going to be doing in October, and then we'll come back to you and we'll just be chatting through the course of the show.
Right. Well, my name's Jack Ryder, and I have the Antiquarian Bookshop in Pike Street in Liskeard, which I'm not really here to talk about, just plug. But
we can talk about that, because I find myself in there quite a lot, don't I?
You do. That's very true, and we're very grateful. Mainly what I want to talk about tonight is a photographic exhibition that we're running from the 10th of October to the 21st, so it's on for 2 weeks at Stuart House. It's in aid of Stuart House, the foundation, but these photographs are extremely rare, extremely valuable, and some of them have never been seen by the public.
It's exciting stuff, isn't it?
Yes, it is indeed.
So we'll be talking about that through the course of the evening, but we will talk about your bookshop and the books that you get in there. And also, I believe you've got a friend that runs another bookshop or something you were telling me a bit further up country that's got a lot of Beatles memorabilia and so on.
That's the sister of a friend who's got a lot of Beatles memorabilia. Yes.
So I mean, if you're here for the evening and you're quite happy, we'll cover the whole thing. And our other latest thing, which is going to go into the Cornish Times of next week, is the music gig guide.
Right.
But I think we'll also be able to, although it's not music technically, we'll get a footnote in there about your exhibition as well, which would be good.
Yeah, good.
So we'll have a couple of tunes, and then we'll come back and you can fill us in more, Jack, on what you're up to.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I like in a song?
No, tell me.
Music.
Lyrics.
There's
lyrics or music.
there's two things I like in a song. One of them is whistling,
Yes.
and there's not enough songs these days, is there, with whistling?
True.
And another thing I like in a song, there's Leo looming in the back of me, give him a thumbs up, is the banjo.
Right. Okay.
And I've got 2 tracks here that I thought, there's whistling.
And banjo.
Jack, you're right, you're streets ahead of me there, aren't you?
Wow.
In Hell I'll Be in Good Company by the Dead South, are you familiar?
I have heard of the Dead South, yes.
Brilliant.
Yeah. But I'm not much into much music after 1972 because of my age.
Well, we'll come to that when we got your choices. I couldn't even find Joni Mitchell, the track specifically on Spotify, so I got that on YouTube coming up.
Right, excellent.
And then we've got Hunter of Stars by a Scandinavian fella called Sabolta, which is brilliant. 2 totally different tracks, but almost in a TrakLink-esque style, linked together, guys and girls listening and watching, by banjo and whistling.
Awesome.
Whistling and banjos, guys.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
We've just been having a right good old chit chat off air. We should have saved that for actually having a chit chat on air, Jack. So
maybe.
What we'll have to do is go and just wind back up to all that.
Yeah, no problem.
Absolutely. What have we covered? The Eurovision Song Contest.
Yes.
Sennheiser microphones.
Phones, yes.
Rare photos.
Rare
The
photos.
Dust Bowl in America.
Yeah.
Let's have that conversation again.
Okay.
So for those people just tuning in or just listening, we got Nurse Carol's in. Love a bit of yodeling, says Nurse Carol.
I was just looking at that. He said, my late husband Nigel used to make me yodel. I want to know how.
I'm not sure you do. Any of our listeners.
Perhaps Nurse Carol would like to let us know.
I'm
Expand on that theory.
Absolutely certain Nurse Carol will happily oblige you on that. Nurse Carol, in
And
the
are
chat
there
room,
any
give us a shout back on
recordings?
that. I'm sure there were also recordings.
But what we don't want is any video evidence, something like that.
Well, not on this channel. It's a family show.
It is a family show. It is a family show, yeah. So just backing up again, Jack, talking about that, because I very mistakenly thought this was going to be an exhibition of never seen before photographs of Liskeard and surrounding area. However,
No, there are some photographs of this garden and surrounding area, but mainly they are extremely rare photographs by photographers like Lewis Carroll. Alice in Wonderland man. Who was a
right, okay.
Yeah.
Make sure you get it in. We had this issue, didn't we?
We did.
Julia
Julia Margaret Cameron, who was a real pioneer, woman pioneer of early photography.
Yeah.
I say Lewis Hind, the American, and Dorothea Lange, the American, who really took photographs of industrial America and the Dust Bowl. So they were the rural poverty in the Dust Bowl of America. We got quite a lot of photographs of from a guy named Colonel Joseph Gale, who was a photographer in the last quarter of the 19th century and photographed agricultural workers. So there's pictures of agricultural workers with shire horses ploughing. Well, some of these have never been seen.
Just like to say to everybody listening, Jack has got no notes whatsoever for this. This is all coming out of his obviously enormous encyclopedic brain.
Oh, what I was going to say there.
I would just literally be, you'd see me kind of like glancing down, I'd have all this written down. That's brilliant.
Move your mic a little bit.
Where to?
Push it backwards a little bit.
Back to here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I could just
There
see
you
you
are.
peeking out from over here. See,
amateur.
see, I'm on the other side of the room. Usually I can like just trim him off every now and again, but yeah, no, just
There you go.
just back up a bit.
He's quite literally an angel on my shoulder. Look.
Well,
bless.
I'm in the scarlet seat today, aren't I?
Yeah. But no, I mean that's fantastic knowledge. I didn't know Lewis Carroll, also the author, was big into photography.
Yes, he was. He was very good and one of the pioneers. The earliest photograph we've got is from 1845, which is remarkably early.
When did photography start, Jack?
Well, you're talking about 1825. The first ones were taken.
Okay, so only a generation basically past the opening.
Absolutely, absolutely. But the 1845 one is a lot of young children who are sons of fisher folk from New Haven. The story is that the fathers of these children were actually in the Navy and fought at Trafalgar. So we've got a connection going back to there. So quite amazing, really.
And what sort of sizes are these pictures that you're putting up?
Some of them are
they originals or been blown up? Or
no, they're all original photographs. They're all originals. There's one or two that have been recently done, but they've been printed off the original negatives. They're all from the original negatives. So they're, there are copies of these around. There's one or two in the V&A and various other museums and collections, and some of them have been seen in exhibitions, but some of them have never been seen.
So my next question, Jack, is going to be, how did you get hold of all of the originals then?
Well, to be perfectly honest, they were a bequest to me from a very dear friend, who knew I was interested and had shown interest, and I'd bought one or two just because I wanted them, and they were given to me as a bequest, so which I'm very grateful for, and
and so now you're sharing them with...
I'm going to share them
with the masses.
His hope was that we would be able to take them out and exhibit them, and it's taken quite a long time because we've had to have them, every single one of them framed, which was cost a few bob.
At your expense?
At my expense, yes.
And is this exhibition, and are you charging people to come in to try and recoup
no,
your framing costs?
No, absolutely not. No. It's in aid of Stuart House, a charitable foundation.
Okay.
No, it's a free entrance. If people wish to donate to Stuart House, any sort of coin, they would be gratefully received.
Okay. People trying to get rid of the ones with a queen on now, maybe.
There's a lot of those out there, so we don't mind what they've got on them. So
and every time we talk about it, Jack, just mention again when it is and where it is.
It is the 10th of October, Monday the 10th of October till the 21st of October at Stuart House, which is in Liskeard. It's
Brilliant.
a 17th century house and museum. Well worth a visit on its own.
I think so, but especially with all these photographs in it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, if memory serves me correct as well, wasn't Lewis Carroll one of his sort of feature models, was one of his nieces, I believe, wasn't it?
Or was his friends? Friends, yeah.
I remember reading a lot about it, but I've only seen one or two photos over the years.
But it was very common in Victorian times to photograph children as beggars and various things like that. And but he was very good. I mean, you've probably heard of the Victorian actress Ellen Terry. Have you?
Yes,
you have.
Yeah.
Well, I've got a photograph of her when she was young.
Oh wow!
Taken by Lewis Carroll. But I've also got a photograph of her younger sister, Florence, dressed as a beggar girl. And I mean, that's incredibly rare. I'm not sure if anybody's ever seen that.
Wow.
So.
Pretty impressive stuff.
It is, but it needs to be seen by people.
Absolutely.
So I'm hoping that if this goes well, then other people will say, "Oh, can we have the exhibition?" Which we'd be very happy to do.
Well, this is exactly what we need to do in a community. Is try and everybody just helps everybody else out a little bit.
Absolutely.
You're going to become part of our community now, because this is a thing that we do every week, and it's called, Jack. So this is the first. Don't shout it out if you think you know it. This is our first TrakLink.
Right.
We're going to play this. This will be linked to a track further on in the show.
Right.
And it'll be linked to a third track further on in the show.
Right.
We'll play this, and then we'll come back and talk some more, maybe about your shop as well.
Yes,
which will be good. So for everybody, this is your first TrakLink. This is the Ramones with Pet Cemetery, and we are back in the room with Jack Ryder from the bookshop.
Hi.
It sounds like, with a name like Jack Ryder, honestly, it sounds like you need to be in a book, not running. It's like Jack Reacher, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm a superhero.
It sounds it, doesn't it? The new Jack Ryder novel. You'd be like,
absolutely. Well, there is an actor called Jack Ryder, and people try and
that's who we thought we were booking.
But well, you're not getting the check back.
I'll probably bounce anyway.
No doubt.
Right, okay. So that was our first TrakLink. I think Jack thinks he's already got it, maybe. That was the Ramones' Pet Cemetery. We're going to play another song in just a second, which is one of Jack's choices. And apparently, you came in and you said I'm an old man, but you said you could remember exactly where you were and what you were doing when this was on.
Absolutely, yeah.
So tell us a little bit about this, Jack.
Well, I was always a fan of Joni Mitchell, folk singer. I grew up in the 60s and liked virtually everything. Music was my life. And I remember that was such a departure. I was in a record shop, looking after a record shop in Richmond. And
Wow.
that came in. That came in
I used
from
to
the
live right next to it,
yeah. And I thought, well, we'll give it. I put it on, and it blew my socks off. I just couldn't believe it. It was so different, very jazzy. I like jazz, but very jazzy, very different from what she'd done before. And the boho dance is just. It's got such a fabulous hook. The horn section is just wonderful. I just love it. It's my favourite. Maybe joint favourite track on the album, but
well, I'm hoping this works then, because I've switched to YouTube now to play this. So let's hope after that lovely build-up and hearing you two and Leo then expostulated when you said Richmond.
Yes.
We've got a tipple of the week coming up, which I think you two London lads will probably be more likely to discuss than me.
Absolutely.
But let's have the boho dance. Hopefully, and then
That's it. Have you skipped the ads?
and this, yes,
Good. Man, that finished quick, didn't it?
that is it. Yeah,
That's finished.
Yeah.
It goes into another track fairly quickly.
yeah. I'm gonna
Something you don't get as
That
much
worked,
of these
though.
days, actually,
Yeah.
is like, you know, albums or EPs where the tracks go into each other. Like, it's quite a rarity this day and age.
It is. It is, but it wasn't then.
Nah, yeah.
Quite often the concept albums.
Well, that's the
if you
thing,
like.
the age of the concept album.
Yeah.
I miss them so much. I'm trying to remember, one of my favourites was Kilroy.
I don't know that.
I'm trying to remember who did it. It's a band that would be on the tip of my tongue, but yes, it's a massive it's where Mr. Roboto comes from.
Right.
Domado Gatto, Mr. Roboto, and it's like this concept album, basically very Orwellian.
Yes.
And there's this sort of android controller throughout the whole thing who's like the overlord, and it turns out that it's actually Kilroy. Spoiler
Not
alert.
Robert Kilroy.
Not Kilroy
not
Silk.
the chat
Robert
show
Kilroy
host.
Silk.
Robert Kilroy Silk. Leo, you just asked an interesting question while we were playing
Yes.
Joni Mitchell. Then just ask that on there.
So was Joni Mitchell pregnant at Woodstock? Because
Well, if she was, it wasn't me. But I understand.
Were you weren't at Woodstock?
No, I wasn't at Woodstock, but I did see her at the Isle of Wight in 1970.
Ooh. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Was that
But,
the one Hendrix played at as
yes,
well? Oh,
absolutely.
fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Look.
1970. Blimey,
Yeah.
I was one.
Yes, I didn't pay to get in either. I went in the fence along
Oh,
with
nice.
thousands
Yeah,
of others.
that's the way to do
Which
it.
Joni cried and said was awful because we're being unfair to the musicians. But hey,
Oh well,
Yeah.
didn't
at
have
least
any money then.
Yeah,
No.
so it's always unfair on the musicians, you know, flying around the world doing tours.
And we're just saying on the back of your photographic exhibition and whatever, the album artwork on that album was it seems to be years and years ahead of its time.
Oh yeah,
That
Yes,
wouldn't
it
be
was.
out. That the hissing of the summer.
Hissing of Summer Lawns.
Hissing of Summer
Yeah,
Lawns.
that's
That
an
wouldn't be out of,
alternative title, but we won't say that.
but that wouldn't be out of sync with today's sort of album covers and artwork,
No,
would it? It's all
no,
very
no.
progressive.
Yeah,
That's a sign of a good musical artist. You see,
I think so. Yeah.
You should do you could do a music exhibition. That'd be good, like album covers and.
I
things
could
would
do. I've
also
only
be
got CDs now.
Yeah, oh, haven't we all as well? All those lovely vinyls with the gatefolds.
They were
and
lovely.
what
They
have
were
you.
wonderful. I mean, it's not the same when you get one of those old Santana albums that folded out and you've got dozens and dozens of pages with it.
All the
You get-
sleeve notes.
Yeah, all the
Yeah.
sleeve notes. And you
Well,
don't get
even
that
early
now.
CDs, like it's actually funny. I was watching this again earlier today. I've got this enormous collection of old MTV when it actually played music.
Right.
And it was Dave Kendall at Mute Records as
Yes.
the label that Depeche Mode were on. And they had a section where they went to the CD production department, and they had some really great concepts for CDs back then.
Yeah.
And one of them they had, and I think one of my friends actually had this. I can't remember who made it, but was it? I think it might have been Tool, actually. But the CD case itself was this massive, like, ornate box that had all of this really detailed sort of carving in the cardboard. But then when you opened it up, it had an LCD screen in it as well.
really?
That
with-
was Tool, and it's
Yeah.
got the eye holes that you stood it up as like a old viewing
Yeah.
thing, and you looked through the spectacles almost that were in that
It's
CD cover.
crazy. And the guy was explaining how, you know...
I've got that on CD at home.
Oh, good. Look, that edition.
With the, I was going to say I'll fish it out, but it's at the back of the attic, so maybe I won't.
But he was saying how expensive it was to make these things as well, though. You know, it's like the
It's
CD
probably why they
production.
stopped doing it. Because
Yeah,
it's too
yeah.
expensive to manufacture.
The actual disc itself was like pennies, but then the actual casing and shipment to make it worthwhile as a purchase,
Absolutely.
it was just going through the roof, like 60 quid's worth of like investment just because of it having an LCD screen.
Then
in
you've
it.
got to do it as an investor's edition and all sorts. Haven't
Oh,
you?
yes.
Yeah.
Let's have another quick tune, and
Yes.
then let's come back, Jack. Do you fancy playing a quiz?
Yeah, no problem at all. I'll have a go.
Excellent. So have a bit of Katy Perry, and then we'll come back and play a quiz.
I'd love a bit of Katy Perry.
Who doesn't?
You're only getting the song. I think we've all agreed there we'd like a bit of Katy Perry, haven't we? While that was on.
Lovely bouncy tune.
Careful how you say that.
Yeah.
Right, we're going to have a quiz, Jack, and I feel that as our special guest this evening, that you should do the questions.
Okay.
Now, this quiz, it says here on the back, Neil, you should get all these correct, because last week I have to warn you I got 0 out of 5.
Okay.
And it's set normally by Rufus Periwinkle or Dawn Lee.
Right.
And this week, I believe it's a collaboration between Dawn Lee and Rufus Periwinkle.
Well, there you are.
So we have a collaboration on the quiz.
Okay.
So let's put down here, just in case we differ, we'll put our 3 columns,
Yes.
we'll read the questions,
Yep.
and then what we normally do is we have a tune. So
Yes.
we'll have another one of yours. I think it's only fair that we do that while we cogitate,
Yes.
and then we'll come back with
The answers. Okay. I presume the questions are all in this envelope, are they?
the questions will be in the envelope, and we
Okay.
normally have
Well, there you are. Well, this week's questions is all about cars.
which is why it probably says that I should get them right. So I'm hoping. Now, where's Leo disappeared to? He's absconded.
Okay.
Okay.
Question number 1. Which animal features in the logo for Lamborghini?
I know that one. I think it is that. Right, read that out again because Leo's just come back in.
Sorry, Leo.
That's right. That was.
Question 1. Which animal features in the logo for Lamborghini?
Yeah, I was going to say something.
Yeah, what do you think, Jack?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
So we all got the same answer for that.
We're trying
we're
our
all
best
wrong.
not to say them.
Aye, come on. Question number 2.
Go on.
What was the original colour for all Ferrari models?
Ooh, I know that one.
Ooh, now I'm thinking I'm going to say that.
Yeah, that's obvious, but maybe it's true. I don't know. I will say that too.
Is that what you're going to
Yeah,
say?
I'm going to say that too.
Leo, what are you thinking? No? Come on then. You write your... Oh, he's... Oh.
Oh, I know what he's going to say.
Controversy in the rank. Oh.
Am I right?
Is that right? Yeah. Oh, okay.
It's actually the official.
Oh,
It's
oh,
the
right.
official
Yeah.
colour.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
we're wrong.
Oh, no, that means I only get 4 out of 5.
I think the 80s has a lot to answer for in why we would answer differently.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Question number 3. Which iconic car manufacturer also made airplane engines?
I know this
I
one
believe
very,
they
very,
still
very,
do.
very, very well. Yes.
Is
they
it
still
going to
do.
be that one?
It is.
It will be the ones that are based in Filton, where I did some work experience way back in the day.
Okay.
I was going to say Saab, potentially, because they made fighter planes, but...
Well, that is true.
They
actually.
still do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Question number 4. Who was the driver for Alfa Romeo before founding his own company?
Who was the driver?
For Alfa Romeo.
What, is this like the Alfa Romeo Formula 1 team,
I would imagine so.
Oh, God.
Well, it could have been the Alfa
Who do you
Romeo.
think?
Or
I don't
test
know.
driver.
I honestly don't
Who do you
know.
think? I honestly don't know. What do you mean Neil's going to get 5? So far, I'm on a very shaky 2. Oh, yeah, he was a coach trimmer.
Yeah.
Ah, of course.
Is that what you think?
Well, now he's
There's a
written it down. I do
plausibility, yeah.
get it. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to put that down. Well, I feel like I'm cheating.
Yeah,
so,
I'd be cheating as well.
Okay, and then the last one.
The last one, question number 5. Which race car is known as the Widowmaker?
Oh, good grief. The Widowmaker used to be a big chisel that they used in quarries, a big drill, didn't
There's
it?
also a German fighter aircraft called the, was it the Starfighter or something?
The
Couldn't make it.
Widowmaker.
Yes, because they all crashed.
Yeah. There you go.
It was a jet fighter.
There you go.
What do you think, Jack?
It might be a clue. James Dean died in one.
Did he?
Yes. It's the car he famously died in.
I don't think I've got 5. I think I'm sadly going to disappoint.
They're quite popularly featured in Gran
Turismo. Give the correct name for it, then. There you go.
Yes. So, yeah.
Good grief!
There you go.
I think I'm outmanoeuvred there in the quiz.
Comes in a nice blue, metallic blue with a white stripe over the front. Is a very common colour for it.
Yes,
Lots
his
of chrome.
was white.
It does.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
does, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I can see. Yeah, lovely car, but I'm yeah. Not getting 5. Jack, while we're taking that in, cogitating, thinking about the answers, choose us another tune.
Okay, the next one on my list, I think you've got Little Feet and Fat Man in the Bathtub, haven't you?
Yeah, very much got that one.
Now,
next.
they are the greatest rock and roll band in the world.
Not Aqua then.
No.
As was announced. And what did you say, the Eurovision Song Contest?
Yes,
Yeah.
it was. Yes, that's what they said.
Suppose it's rock for them.
Okay, so Fat Man in the Bathtub.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's have this. Everybody listen to this. Think about your answers.
Yeah.
And we'll
If
be
you-
back.
If you'd not stopped boogieing to it.
And we'll be back in 4 minutes and 32 seconds. There you go, Monty Tom. Monty Tom.
You've got to avoid that cue button, man. That's the only problem with having such a complicated machine for literally just playing one thing. It can always go wrong.
It doesn't literally do one thing. Dawn Lee, Jack.
Yes.
Hello, Jack. What is the most strangest book you've been asked to find? Oh, also we should say, and did you find it? Maybe.
Yeah. Well, actually, I had it in stock and listed online, and somebody bought it. And there is a book out there which lists all the strange book titles that have been done.
Right.
It started with salmon fishing in Yemen and various other things that sound odd. But the book I sold last week online was called Woodlice, Their Distribution and Habitat in Great Britain and Ireland.
Oh, I've been after a copy of that for years.
And it sold for 20 quid.
Did it?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go, Dawn. What was it again, Jack? The complete title, if you will.
Woodlice, their distribution and habitat in Great Britain and Ireland.
Is that an older book by any chance?
It's actually probably only about 10 years old.
Really?
So,
That is
Wow, that's
curious.
surprising.
we have the strangest
Who
books.
wants that? I mean, that is
Well,
pretty
clearly
niche.
somebody did.
It's
Yeah,
very
like
niche.
someone who's into the study of woodlice.
We did sell one fairly recently called The Life Cycle of the White Ant as well. Wow. So
Oh, so you're kind of like your insect.
we have a fairly
books.
large natural history section.
That's the word I'm looking for.
Invertebrates are high on the list.
Have you got any books that don't detail exoskeleton animals?
Oh yeah.
Right, that's pretty good. Let's have some more questions. I like that. Dawn Lee sent you a crying smiley. I like that. We need some more questions. Come on, everybody that's listening in, let's get a question in for Jack, because that's brilliant. But don't make it about woodlice.
No, don't make it about woodlice.
I'd imagine a polyphlebologist would be interested in that, because apparently that's related to the study of woodlouse. I just had to look that up there.
Well, you didn't know that.
No.
Yeah, I knew that off the back of my head.
Right, here we go.
Right, it's time for the answers.
Oh, our trumpeter's back again.
I know, by royal appointment.
Yeah.
Answers to the
After getting shooed away by King Charles.
Answers,
Indeed.
Answers to the quiz in which allegedly I will get 5 points, but undoubtedly won't.
Yeah.
And then we will literally be back for our second TrakLink, because time just gets on this show.
Indeed. Okay.
So, come on, Jack. Let's have the answers.
Number one. The answer is a bull.
That's the Lamborghini emblem,
That's
wasn't
the
it?
Lamborghini
Jack
emblem.
gets one, Neil gets one, Leo gets one.
Yay.
He's off to a flying start, I'll give it that.
The second one was, what was the original colour of Ferrari? And the answer is, of course, red.
Yes! So Jack gets red, Neil gets red. Shall we read out Leo's embarrassing answer?
Yes.
Leo said yellow.
Yeah.
Oh, we're 2 for 2.
We are. Answer number 3, which car manufacturer also makes aeroplane engines, is of course Rolls-Royce.
Jack says Rolls-Royce, Neil says Rolls-Royce, Leo says Rolls-Royce. Now this is where we'll...
which Alfa Romeo driver left and formed his own company? And the answer is Enzo Ferrari. That's 3 zeros, by the way. Oh yeah, people.
Jack says Pininfarina. Leo says Pininfarina, which I thought was going to be, and I said Nicky Lauda because I didn't know what to say. We need the anti. What's the anti fanfare? Yeah. And the last one, what was the last Widowmaker?
One, of course, the Widowmaker was the Porsche 917, or known as the Porsche Spider.
Jack gets that.
Oh wow.
I said Cadillac and Leo said AC Cobra.
Yeah.
Jack gets 4 from 5. I got 3 out of 5 and Leo 2 out of 5. That's your worst score in a quiz ever.
Yeah. Well, you know,
and
it has
for
to
a guy
happen.
who's not a petrol head, I didn't do too badly then. What's my prize?
Is it going to be another question coming in?
Oh, lovely.
Your prize will be trying to work out the second TrakLink. So while we embarrassedly put our non-petrol head brains together, I think if it had been about insects, clearly you would have got 5. The habitat of woodlice or whatever it was. Here's TrakLink number 2, Jack. It's New Model Army with 1984. You've said it now, Jack. Jack's just said while we're having a conversation, I should get some merch. Yes, you should. And you can check out the merch shop, Jack. Funny you should say that. By logging into www.fluidrecords.co.uk, and on the burger bar, you'll have all the menus, and you can go down to check out and order merch.
Right.
So if you're looking at the screen, it does sort of do a little bit of a loop. We've got baseball caps.
Excellent.
Hoodies.
I like a baseball cap.
Yeah, well, you look like a baseball cap kind of guy.
I am.
And you could sit in the shop.
I used to collect them.
Did you?
Yes.
And you haven't got one of ours?
No, I haven't got one there
yet,
but I'm sure I will.
Well, Jack's just saying off air, which is why I've just dropped him in it. He said I need to get some merch or a T-shirt. Look, you could do your Christmas shopping on the merch shop.
Obviously, I'm a man of style, as anybody watching can see. But
yeah, absolutely. I think anybody listening should actually go to www.fluidrecords.co.uk, drop into the merch shop, and all your Christmas shopping's there.
Yeah,
we send it out in environmentally compostable, eco-friendly bags and packaging, so there's no plastics involved. We locally source the.
Oh, look, there it is.
By lucky happenstance, Leo's listening to me at the back and puts up the entire merch shop.
Even though I missed putting the cameras
Granny
on
would
by
love a
about 5 minutes ago.
T-shirt.
Absolutely, who doesn't love a Fluid
Hoodies,
T-shirt?
baseball caps, T-shirts, they're all on offer.
Yeah, there you go. Anyway, that was your second TrakLink as well. Digressing every little bit. New Model Army with 1984, and the first one was, Jack, do you remember?
It was Pet Cemetery by the Ramones.
It was indeed. There are no flies on you. There's woodlice on you.
Woodlice, but various other invertebrates,
but no flies.
No.
So yeah, everybody that's just dropped in or listening or gone into the chat room, we're here tonight with Jack Ryder from the Antiquarian Bookshop. You describe it, do you?
Bit pompous, but
But
second-hand books.
And you are doing an exhibition, Jack, just remind us.
A photographic exhibition of very early photographs by lots of famous people, many that have never been seen before, at Stuart House, the 17th century house and museum in Liskeard. Entrance is free.
Absolutely. I love free entry to anything is always going to be a winner. Don't start talking about Katy Perry again. I can see you were going to jump in with something rude.
I stopped myself in time.
I think Russell Brand's already got there, mate.
But also the bookshop itself, and talking about do we actually mention the C word there, Christmas shopping? But there's plenty to be had if you're up and down the street in Liskeard, and for anybody who's a collector, as you know I am, of Stephen King books, because I've had a couple of nice ones off you recently, haven't I?
Yes.
A nice collectible book is just for anybody interested in woodlice, clearly. So tell us a little bit also, Jack, about the shop and what sort of comes across the counter and so on.
Well, we run a fairly eclectic mix. We do everything, really, from natural history through to military history, art, very old books, collectible books, modern fiction, first editions signed by authors, and they don't have to be expensive. We do books from £1.
You do?
Yes.
Not the ones I seem to like, though.
No, indeed not. No. And I do try and steer people away from those who are the slightly better ones. But, the most we've ever sold a book for was 2,500. Which went to a man in Singapore, believe it or not.
I was going to say, was that somebody locally? Or was that an online thing? So?
It was an online sale, yeah. And we've sold. I think the biggest sale we had over the counter in the shop was about £3,000.
Really?
Yeah, and the guy bought. I think he bought 2 books.
Oh, okay. Wow. Is that why you shut early some days?
Yeah.
You just see the closed sign come round and you've got a big smile on your face.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. No, is a collector from Cornwall on some very, very old Cornish books. I mean, I think the earliest book we've had in is about 1556.
Really?
Yeah, but we only had it for a little while. The guy didn't want to sell it to me. It wasn't worth anything. No, because it was too badly damaged, but I just wanted it for the age. But the earliest books we've sold, I think, is Carew's Survey of Cornwall, publishing date of 1602.
Oh, wow.
So, and we've sold 2 or 3 of those in the last 8 years.
Now, I've got at home, I might pop it up to you actually. I don't think it's worth anything at all because it's certainly not a first edition.
If you want to sell it to me, it won't be.
Yeah.
I don't. It was given to me by my uncle, but right. I think it's a 3rd or 4th edition of Treasure Island. Oh. But when was that originally published?
Oh, later part of the 18th century, 1769, 70.
Because I've looked in the front cover and it's got the original public, and then it goes like the next year, and then mine is the next year. So it's very, very old. Well, it's quite folly party, as I would describe it.
Get that repaired.
I just wondered if it might actually be worth anything, because I don't want to sell it, as I say, but it'd be nice to know that.
Well, we can get it fixed for you.
I'll bring it in.
Do.
I'm going to drop it in. We're running late, Leo, for...
Tipple of the week.
We are.
That's my voice there.
Yeah.
It's because what was actually on my mind is I believe the good lady driver and my little one were actually in just today. You might have seen him peeking around the door there.
I didn't.
Yeah, no. I think they both were just in earlier today while they were in town.
Yes. Well, there you go. Well, look, let's have a little tune so we can gather our notes, we can get ourselves together, and we'll come back. And Indeed. For you two boys in here, we'll have a bit more of a grassroots original tipple of the week for you guys.
Indeed.
So we'll have a little bit of the lightning seeds, and then we'll come back and regroup. Thank you, Tony.
Thank you so much, Tony.
Right, we're running a little bit late for our feature of Tipple of the Week.
Tipple of the Week.
Tipple of the Week.
Of the Week.
And this week, we are holding this up to the camera there. Jack, hold yours up to your camera. There you go, see it in the...
Indeed.
So we've got Fuller's London Pride. Now, let's kill the background music. Up to the mic, Jack. You can have the honour, and let's have a listen to how this sounds.
Ooh.
Oh.
I think that bottle opener's gone.
Oh.
Wow.
Obviously,
the
bottle
society
have been in and they won't open it.
That's a stubborn bugger.
It was, really.
I think the bottle opener might have died, actually.
Let's have a go, see if we can get a... hang on, here we go.
It's like 20-year-old bottle opener.
Oh, no, mine went first time, but with a very pathetic little...
Yeah.
So...
Well, that's what you get with South London beers.
Exactly.
Now, this is why I've chosen it, because you're a Cockney.
A real Cockney.
A real Cockney. And Leo, you are...
Well, I was born North London, so Stonebridge Estate. Stonebridge.
Stonebridge.
Okay.
So
just
Northwest London.
Yeah, Northwest London.
When you say North London, surely you mean Edmonton and Enfield.
Well, that's where like I confused myself, because my dad lived there, although he was born within Bow Bells. Like he lived up there, and thank you. My granddad. I've got one over here somewhere.
Lovely, jubbly.
My granddad used to run the Green Man pub in Edgware.
Right.
So quite a lot of sort of family.
Here we go. Here we go. Welcome to Cockney Talk. All right, apples and pears. Do me a favour.
Yeah. Oh, it's sweet as a nut, Governor.
Oh, isn't it? Slap the missus.
Come right on top, isn't it?
Apples and pears. All that palaver.
I don't think I've ever heard a Cockney say apples and pears.
No.
Well, this is one of the funny things as well. My dad used to get worked up with his EastEnders, and he's like, But no one talks like that.
Nobody talks like that.
Like they've all got like West London accents trying to be East London accents.
Absolutely.
It just doesn't make any sense.
Nobody gets run down outside the Queen Vic every week and then shot.
No.
Now, apparently then, so you two
You ain't
can...
been in Brixton on a Friday night.
I feel like I'm doing another quiz now because you two can tell me whether these notes are correct.
Wow.
So London Pride, allegedly,
Yes.
I'm going to say allegedly at the top just again,
Yeah.
is the flagship beer of Fuller's Brewery and is an iconic ale of the capital.
Well, it's an iconic.
Would you agree?
Would I agree? Yes, I think so. Even if it is made in South London.
It is brewed with entirely homegrown hop varieties, target for littering, a North Down, Challenger and Goldings for aroma. Would we agree?
I think we would.
Yeah.
That's 2. However, the soul of the beer, guys, is in the malt. Crystal malts combined with concerto and propane to give London Pride its depth and balance.
Propane.
I'm pinging that anyway. Now,
accessories.
it says at 4.1%,
Yes.
which it says on the bottle, with a tawny colour, which I think we can all agree
It's
is
definitely
definitely a
very
tawny
tawny,
colour.
yeah.
Indeed.
We should be getting, for a smell, sweet raisin and biscuit. It's like some pompous wine tasting, but with my nose tonight coming out of a cold, I'm not getting anything
Dude,
other
I
than...
haven't even started on mouthfeel yet.
Are you getting...
Wait till we get to the
The
mouthfeel.
aroma greets the nostrils like an old friend.
Excellent.
But in the mouth, you should have dried fruit. Not literally, obviously. Don't eat it with a bag of raisins or whatever. And it should have a clean. Honestly, Leo can talk for England about beer bollocks, and he's gone in the back. And it's got a clean finish, Jack. Apparently,
That's it.
well, allegedly.
Tastes like a beer to me.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
I just about managed to get that down without projecting it across the room.
A bit like Nurse Carol.
yes.
How do you know she projects it across the room?
I don't know, just thinking about her yodeling.
Oh,
Jack.
cool.
No, what were you thinking?
Oh, I don't know.
I was just thinking you project your yodel. So I'm not getting anything because I've got a cold. But it does
I'm
taste
not.
like a beer.
It just tastes like a beer, and it's okay. It's all right for a South
Yeah.
London beer.
Yeah, exactly. It's serviceable.
And I think, as most people will know, that the beer takes its name from the flower, London Pride, that used to grow during the Blitz. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Oh, okay. And there's I think it's a white. Is it white, Leo?
Yes, I believe
London
it is,
Pride.
yes, London
And
Pride.
when London got bombed, and you had all the bomb sites, this lovely little flower was very resilient, and the people took it as like, you can bomb us, but you can't.
You can't break us.
You can't break us, and it was called London Pride, and that's why they called it London Pride.
Saxifraga urbium.
And occasionally,
Is it,
you can get this down the Barley Sheaf, because sometimes they have this as a guest
Do they?
beer on
Yep.
tap. Yeah.
Do you know it's also known as St Patrick's cabbage?
What? The
London
flower?
Pride.
London
Yeah,
Pride.
apparently
Is
so,
it?
yeah.
So-
It's cabbage.
So we're in agreement that although we should be getting sweet raisin biscuit with dried flute notes and a clean finish, we are in agreement that it does taste like a beer.
Yes, it
Yeah, it's
definitely
lovely. Proper naughty, Jack.
proper
Proper naughty, isn't it?
We don't say that either.
No, especially not about London Pride, to be honest.
Oh, slap the missus.
Phrase is
Got
not used.
claret everywhere.
I'll give you a Chelsea grin.
Phrase is also not used about London Pride in London is tidy or nice.
Yes.
Bang tidy.
Yeah.
So anyway, whilst Leo goes up the old Atwood and Pears and comes down with another glass, what we've also started doing is looking for bands and musicians that come out of the area that the Tipple of the Week is brewed in. So this is Chiswick.
It is.
So who comes out of Chiswick?
The Queen on her way past the other week. If anyone noticed,
She
goes
did go
straight
past
She
the
didn't
Phluid,
notice
yeah.
either.
She wasn't getting biscuits and raisin on the nose. Nobody was there. But I tell you who comes out of Chiswick, apart from Phil Collins, who's the obvious choice, is Kim Wilde.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
So
really?
let's have a bit of Kim Wilde
Oh,
while we
then.
finish our raisiny beer.
Indeed.
Kids in America buy the amazing Kim Wilde, and you're quite right, Jack. Dad,
Yes.
still going.
Marty Wilde. Yes, he's still
Yeah.
with us.
Now, we've got another question coming from Dawn Lee, who's currently in the Maldives. Jack, I have a Louis de Is that
Bernier.
Bernier, well done. Maybe you should read it out, Jack. Okay, you read it out.
All right, Jack, I have Louis de Bernier's Captain Corelli's Mandolin. It's a hardback and bound in white and gold. When I'm back in the UK, could I pop in and show it to you? Dawn, you'd be most welcome. In fact, Louis de Bernier was in my shop about 3 weeks ago.
No.
And he signed a copy of his book, which I promptly sold for a lot of money.
Really?
Yeah, he came in and he was a very nice man. Strange looking chap, but very nice, very polite.
He must be quite old now, is he?
No, he didn't seem that old. Well, anybody who's younger than me looks young.
So when was Captain Corelli's Mandolin written?
Ooh, 80s?
80s, yeah.
Yeah, 80s.
Oh, okay, so not as old as...
Oh, it's not as old as
No,
that.
no.
Oh,
This is the
okay.
beauty with that thing, is especially when you see the film as well.
I've seen the
Like,
film,
a lot
yeah.
of people
The
get the
film was-
impression it's a lot older than it
Yeah,
actually is.
I don't like the film at all. I didn't like
Not
it
a big
at all.
fan. Is it like Life
but
of
the
Pi?
book was lovely.
Yeah, I preferred the book of Life of Pi as
Yeah.
well. I found the film just really hard to watch.
Well, Dawn, you're more than welcome to bring it in and show me. You can tell if it's a first edition, because if you open on the publishing page, there'll be what's known as string numbers, saying like 7, 8, 9, 10 and whatever.
Yeah.
If you've got a 1, that is a first edition, first impression, first printing.
That's what I like on some of my King books, because
Yes.
you know I'm a Stephen King fan, is that
Absolutely.
they go down to 1.
Yes.
I
If
haven't
it's
got any
1, it's a first.
I haven't got any, unfortunately, signed by the great Mr. King, because you wouldn't want to buy them. They cost too much money,
They
wouldn't
do
they?
cost too much money. Yeah.
Have you seen David Williams about? Because he apparently was either he's about to be at or was at the primary school this
Was
week.
he really?
I think so. Yeah, he was signing some
Getting some copies of Gangster
signing some
Granny.
books. Yeah, thank you.
I would not inflict those on any child. I
Thank
must
you.
admit.
Sorry, Neil. But I think again we're agreeing on that.
I'm
totally.
a David Williams fan, and I indeed went with Andrea, my wife, and George and Imi, our grandchildren. We went to see it at the Theatre Royal in Plymouth, and it was absolutely fabulous.
I'm sure it's great for kids.
So, but it's horses for courses, isn't it?
It
We
is.
all can't
Yeah,
like
it is.
all
Yeah.
the same things.
I'm
I
not
don't,
a fan
I don't
of
have a
Harry
sense
Potter.
of humour, so
I've read
No, I think you do, and that's the problem. Is you actually have a sense of humour.
I've read quite a lot of Williams books, and I think they're all good, and I like his TV adaptations as well. But, guys, we're not here to talk about David Williams,
We're not.
are we?
No, absolutely not.
So we're going to do our last TrakLink, and then we'll come back and we'll talk some more, Jack, about. We'll just recap on everything that we've been going through. You've got another couple of tracks in the
I
bag.
have, yeah.
This is the final TrakLink. Everybody paying attention. The first one, Jack, was.
The Ramones' Pet Cemetery.
The second one, Leo, was.
I can't remember. I wasn't in the room at the time.
Neither can I now.
Okay, it was New Model Army,
New Model Army,
1984.
Yeah, that's
And the last one is, in fact, Christmas number 1 has already come in and said here, but the amazing Kate Bush.
Ooh.
And this is Wuthering Heights.
Ooh.
That's your last track link there.
Yeah.
Kate Bush and Wuthering Heights.
Fantastic. Love
So-
a bit of Bush.
I think that's the track for the track link to me.
Anyone remember her producer?
Oh, no.
No? Formerly of Pink Floyd?
Dave Gilmour.
There you go.
I used to play
spot on.
football with.
Oh, really?
I did.
Wow,
In the
fantastic. Nice.
The
another-
same football team.
Yeah.
Hey.
Which team?
Well, it was a scratch team made up of people from the music industry. There
Oh,
were people
cool.
like Russ Ballard was in there,
Oh, okay.
and Nobby Dalton, who was then the bass player with the Kinks.
Yeah.
and a
Can
few
I
other
just jump in
people.
here, guys,
Yeah.
and say this is TrakLink, not Jacklink? We're not linking things that you and Leo have done.
It's turning into the thing with Cam again, isn't it? Where like Neil was saying, like in between Cam, we had Cam from the Rock Project in Plymouth on,
Right.
and he does an awful lot of gigs. Like he's always, in fact, after that interview, he was going to do a gig like
Right.
straight afterwards in Dawlish, but he does an awful lot with a lot of 80s artists, so
Right,
Rick
gotcha.
Astley and people like that. And Neil's just sat there going, these guys, man, they just talk about all these people they've met and they know. And I'm just, but then Neil has met Jet, which I always bring up. Jet from Gladiators.
From the Gladiators.
Oh,
Yeah.
have you?
Yes.
Yeah, so that kind of trumps pretty much everything for me.
Don't think I ever saw it. What was it?
The Gladiators,
yeah.
you know, where they used to do all the...
It was on
I
Saturday
fighting.
nights.
Yeah.
long time
At
ago.
the
wasn't it?
Birmingham
Yeah, it
NEC
was.
Arena.
Was it?
Yeah.
That-
back
well,
when they
that's-
used to do good stuff.
That's where I met Jet, at Birmingham NEC, when,
was it there?
when I was doing an
Oh, wow.
exhibition.
Did she
But,
take you down?
No, but I tell you what, she's literally... She gets shorter every time I mention this, but she's literally about 4 feet tall.
Is she?
I tell you what else I saw at the NEC
She's actually
as well was,
5'1".
do you remember Robot Wars?
I do,
Yes,
yeah.
I've been watching that. Yes, Philippa
Right.
Forrester.
Well-
like iconic 90s super babe Philippa Forrester. If you're out there listening, and why wouldn't you be?
Philippa
Good stuff.
Forrester.
Come back to us,
Philippa
Philippa. We miss you.
Forrester.
She lives in
Anyway,
the US now. Oh, actually, no, she's just moved back.
Matilda. Do you remember Matilda? She was like a big woodlouse.
Matilda, yes.
She was, when you see them on the telly and you think they're only small, massive. It's
huge.
like the size of a dining table.
So if when you get to series 2, they introduce Sir Kill-a-Lot, and
That's- I remember
Craig
Sir
Charles
Kill-a-Lot.
introduces Sir Kill-a-Lot, and he's literally half the height of Craig Charles. And one of the things, because I know Professor Noel Sharkey, who was one of the judges on there. He's a professor at Sheffield University.
Oh, hang on, I have to do this when he name drops.
Yeah, I know.
There you go.
I know. Shout outs to Noel Sharkey. Great guy, actually. Like, he works in the robotics division. I did an engineering degree at Bristol UWE, and so met him both on the train one time, but also through that. The thing that got me with that was, they banned like petrol engines or anything like that for the actual performers. So the people taking part had to use 12-volt batteries or like wheelchair motors. And then Sir Kill-a-Lot comes along with a 2-stroke, and it's like, how is that a competition?
2-litre turbo diesel. I tell you what,
Pretty
that,
much.
that London Pride's got a clean finish.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah,
Yeah. I think it's the raisins.
I think it might be the biscuit overtones as well, Jack. I think you might be right.
It gently proceeds across the mouthfeel like a sort of
Procession
tepid-
of raisins.
A tepid zephyr.
Yeah, it does. It
Indeed.
does. Now, whilst Jack here seems to have an encyclopedic, massive brain for everything, I've just asked him to jot down the information about your exhibition, because I don't have a massive encyclopedic brain and I'll forget. So we are here, we're just saying, with Jack Ryder, who's doing this exhibition in Stuart House, which I think is going to be the pick of the month for October, which is, Jack, just photographs from literally global photographs, isn't it? Very, very rare.
Mainly
photographs
American and British, but
Yeah. Yeah, which is all very, very exciting.
Yeah.
You've got some exciting books that have gone through your book shop.
and lots in stock too.
Yeah, so get yourself that. This is what I'm saying. What a fantastic Christmas present for somebody to turn up and get like a rare book.
We've got some rare books. I mean, we've got some very
Yeah.
interesting books at the moment.
And some good taste in music, because I'm just looking at a couple of your last tracks here. You've got Bob Dylan on there, Spanish Harlem
Of
Incident.
course.
So,
Poet of the Ages. He
and
is.
you've got Wavelength remastered by
Yes.
Van Morrison, and you
Yeah.
said I could choose your next track. Well, over
Yes.
Van Morrison, I'm going to choose Bob Dylan.
That's
but
fine.
Tell us a little bit about why Bob Dylan.
Well, he is the poet of the ages. I was quite young when he came along, and he, blew my mind really. What he was singing and his protest songs, and he was just so different. I had listened to earlier people. I mean, I'd like Hank Williams and stuff like that, and Woody Guthrie, of course, who's brilliant.
Yeah.
But then Dylan came along and just, I don't know, he just spoke to us, and I liked it. And I just think that's one of his great songs. But he's written so many.
All Along
that
the
are good.
Watchtower was.
Wow, absolutely.
I did that for my GCSE
Absolutely.
music.
Which was
practical
covered by
exam.
Hendrix, obviously.
That was the version I
Yeah.
did. I did the Hendrix version.
Yeah, you do.
I think the thing is with Bob
Saw him do
Dylan.
that live.
Oh,
is-
fantastic.
Several
At
times.
the Isle of Wight.
Well, at the Isle of Wight, but also at the Savile Theatre in
wow.
Shaftesbury Avenue.
That's right. Interesting
3
story,
times I saw
actually.
him there.
Interesting story. My dad used to work for the BBC.
All right.
And one day, my mum was picking him up in the car after work, and she stood there, and there's this 3 guys loading up a van. She's like, "Who are those scruffy geezers?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "Shh. That's the Hendrix Experience. They'd just been in to do the Peel sessions."
Nice.
And Mum was like, "Well, they could at least dress for the occasion."
I was going to say, I think the thing is with Dylan as well is that now potentially you look back on that and it's like, yeah, it's Bob Dylan looking through today's eyes, but you're quite right, Jack. At the time, nobody was doing that.
I'd say it's still super prevalent today. It's
Well,
as relative today
If
as
you've
it ever
listened
has been.
to his Rough and Ready album, the latest one that's got the 17-minute extra track on, which is the thing about John F. Kennedy.
Ah, yes.
Murder
Yeah.
Most Foul.
Yeah.
And he references so much music through the 17 minutes of it. It's quite astonishing.
Yeah.
Really.
Well,
for
we'll
an
have
old
a
man
little bit
80.
we'll have a little bit of Spanish Harlem Incident by Bob Dylan, where Dawn Lee has come in with TrakLink. They are
she?
all authors or books. So Dawnley is chasing down the TrakLink along the right lines.
She's along the right
there.
lines, Dawn. You're not quite there. The word we're looking for is...
Yeah. Let's have a bit of Bob and rephrase Dawn. A
little bit of Bob.
Bit chilled out Dylan.
Yeah.
Lovely.
There you go. He only wrote short tracks. Right, Dawn Lee has come in with... Oh, crikey, blimey. You're being pedantic, Jack, aren't you, as the bookman?
Dawn. I was being pedantic, but you're dead right. They are all books. They were all films. The word we were looking for was literature, but we're gonna give it to you. You are the winner.
But I think at the end of the day, look, even come in with the author.
Oh yeah.
Here's one that you'll know as well, Jack, because George Orwell wasn't his real name, was it?
No, it was Eric Blair.
Oh, there you go. You see, you're in. I was going to say I know it wasn't, but I don't know what it was.
Wasn't Aldous Huxley's
Aldous
pseudonym as well?
I'm not sure.
Because he did have a brother as well.
We do have a copy of Brave New World, first edition, in stock in the dust jacket.
Ooh.
Yours for £600.
£600. We can. Do you want to give it into this show and we'll do it as a prize?
Yeah.
For everybody who gets next week's TrakLink.
Yeah, absolutely. But I'll write the clues.
Aye. Well, I tell you what, we've got another little request from Monty Tom, who was our resident. He used to be our resident gardener, but he's by royal. He got banged up, but he genuinely met Prince William on the beach, and he got a royal pardon. So now he's by royal appointment only. Obviously,
it's lucky because he jailbroken when he met him on the beach, so it was kind of lucky, really.
Yeah, it was perfect.
Thank God he didn't meet Andrew.
Yes.
Well, that's another kettle of fish, isn't it? But he sent us in a request, which is "What Want You in My Soul" by the Lovebirds and Steve Downs, but he's also explicitly said put it on for about 3 minutes and then it gets good. So if we
wait, what?
Put it to 3 minutes and then it gets.
Oh right, put it to 3 minutes. Don't
minutes.
let it play for 3 minutes and then it gets good.
No,
that doesn't sound like a good deal.
Put it to 3 minutes and then it gets good. So clearly the first 3 minutes of this song aren't good.
Not good.
Yeah. Yeah, it happens.
We deduce.
Yes.
But if we do get a request, we do like to play them. So I put it to 2. I've gone a bit racy because I've only put it to 2 minutes 57.
Ooh, so
Get 3 seconds.
So we've got a flavour of the
so
not so good bit.
So we get 3 seconds of that. What we'll do is we'll go, oh no, this is.
Oh, God, if only the new series of She-Hulk could be the same.
So shall we have a little listen?
Yes, why not?
Actually, let's give ourselves. Let's go back to 250.
If we listen to it, can it be on
10
proviso?
seconds that are not so
Can
good.
it be on proviso that if it's garbage, we can move it for...
We can stop it at 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Shall we have a go?
Yeah, let's have a go.
Okay. Here we go. Let's put the music up and give it a go for Monty Tom. Hey, I'll tell you what, though, guys, I've had a right laugh tonight. I'm glad.
I've enjoyed it.
I'm glad you've come in, Jack. It's been good
fist
fun.
bump. We did a fist bump.
Yeah, we did a fist bump live on. You saw it first on Phluid FM. It's been good fun, hasn't it?
It has.
But hopefully we've also generated some interest. You were just saying you were hoping your kids were going to be listening.
Yes.
But they can.
When I say kids, I mean they're all grown up now.
But if they haven't logged in or they're not listening, Leo, surely there must be some way that you could listen again.
Yes.
Here he goes. Listen to this. This
Get
is the
yourself
master
on
at
over
work.
to fm.fluidrecords.co.uk or vision.fluidrecords.co.uk, where you'll find all of our on-demand services and live streams 24/7, any device, anywhere, anytime. You can watch the over 60 video shows that we have now up, and you can also listen to over 135 radio shows that we've now got up on the FM page. You can also check us out at YouTube, just search for Phluid Vision. You can check us out on Twitch at twitch.tv/Phluid Vision. Check us out on our Facebook. We've got /Phluid Records at Facebook, at Phluid Records on Instagram, Phluid FM on Twitter, which is a new one that's just come in the last couple of weeks. Thanks, shouty to Prouty for that. So yeah, check us out on any of those. You'll see obviously pop up at the end of the video as well.
But warning, your home may be at risk if you do not keep up payments on any of those platforms.
Shares can go up as well as down.
Yeah, I often do wonder if I'm going one of these days forget where I am, and I'll just go off into are you a personal injury victim? Husband to a murdered wife, father to a murdered child. Do you want your vengeance? Injury claims for you.
Injury claims for you. But we will give you a card before you go as well.
Yes, we have a bunch of stuff over
so
there.
that your young children may list.
Indeed.
Well, the youngest are 20. The twins are 20.
Yeah, my youngest
Give
is
us some of
20
my
this
age.
Saturday.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Claire. She's going to be.
happy
I was
birthday,
quite old
Claire.
before I had my first kids. I was 40 when I had my first children, and they're now 33.
Good grief.
So my next birthday is 73. So
Wow. No way. You don't
You
look
see-
at Jack. Can
no,
I just
well,
say you don't
having
look
an
it?
antiquarian
Mind you, the
book-
lighting in here is
Yeah.
shocking.
Let's go. I've spent an hour in makeup.
No, you're looking really good. My dad's 77. You look really good for it.
Oh, there you
Amazing.
are.
Oh.
There you are. But let's put Carol and the nurse off and Dawn, I expect.
Yeah, where's Nurse
Oh, no,
Carol
they've seen me
gone?
on the...
Oh, they can see you on
they can see
in
me on
HD there.
Yeah.
I think Nurse Carol may be off applying something.
Oh dear, some sort of
let's not
lotion.
cast
Yeah.
aspersions.
Well, for our listeners, if you want to catch up more on Nurse Carol and all of her various adventures, you can always check out Prout's Night Out on Wednesdays, 7 till 9 p.m. on Phluid FM.
And if you want to get a beautiful antiquarian or collectible book, you need to go to
Jack Ryder Books, 10 Pike Street, Liskeard.
and do your Christmas shopping.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
if you want to know anything about your books, you're always quite happy to value.
We'll value books for you free of charge. We'll tell you where you can dispose of them if you want to. We take in donations to go to charity. We get a collection twice a week for it. And we also have a bookbinding service, which we don't add anything on. We just send them on to the bookbinder for you, and you pay the actual price. We don't add anything on.
You see, this is something that Liskeard need to know. There's a lot more to Liskeard than meets the eye. You've just got to ask. There's going to be a wonderful exhibition, Jack. Just remind us where and when. We will put it in the gig guide in the paper for next week.
October the 10th to the 21st at Stuart House in Liskeard.
Brilliant. And that will be in our Cornish Times column for next week in the Phluid FM gig guide as well.
Yep.
So you
Just
can
wanna
cut
send
that
a
out and
like
clip
on-
it onto your fridge.
Yes,
Yeah,
cut out
indeed.
and keep.
Indeed.
And I just want to send another massive shout out to everyone at the Cornish Times for that. We're really very appreciative to let us in, and we hope to give you some of the best gig news coming. Speaking of which, is it time for me to give you a little bit of gig news?
Give a little bit of gig news. We'll do that for a couple of minutes, and then we're going to play out.
Actually, can I give you any gig news?
Oh.
I'm just thinking what time it is. It's the 29th, isn't it?
It is the 29th.
Yeah, which means it's actually next week because of October, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
October on Saturday.
Because I've already given you the gig news for this week, haven't I?
Well, there you are.
Because it's the 1st of October this weekend.
But I tell you what, my very, very good friends in the Cornish Groove Collective that I tried to get into the gig guide for next week, Steve and everybody, massive hi, they are playing on, I think it's tomorrow night. And he said that's too late to go into the gig guide. So that's the one, Leo, we can give a shout
There
out.
you go, thank you.
So if you look up the Cornish Groove Collective, they are fantastic. Northern Soul, all of that kind of blues brother stuff. Sometimes there's 3 of them, sometimes there's about 80 of them. It just depends.
It's a collective.
It
Yes,
is a collective.
exactly.
It's very much the definition of a collective. Thank you everybody for logging in. Thank you everybody for playing along. Thank you, Jack, for turning up.
It's
Round of
my
applause for
pleasure.
Jack.
My
Thank you
pleasure.
very, very much.
We've got a couple of minutes. In fact, we've got 5 minutes before we go.
Yeah,
We've
well, I
got,
was going to remind
We
people
got
as
my
well.
last track to
which
play.
is 6
You
minutes
do.
long, which is perfect.
Which is absolutely perfect.
But before we go, I'm going to remind people that, like I say, hopefully the Phluid Vision live video stream, 24/7 stream, will be back up this weekend, and we will be hopefully premiering the video from last week's gig that we reviewed for the Cornish Times, which was by Stargazer. That should hopefully be up 7 until 9, premiering on YouTube and Twitch on Saturday.
And what a great band they were.
Yes. So I had to get that in there before.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, sorry, Leo. So it's because you're behind me. I can't see you waiting
Yeah.
to go like that on the mic. I'm going to say that.
It does look funny on the camera. I can see in front of us, like me, just like I'm literally perched on your shoulder, like one of those little angels
You
or
are.
devil things.
He's
you
at
know.
the back going, do me a favour. Cool, blimey, governor. We haven't done the gig.
Give his,
Certainly not
give
doing
his
that.
drum a spin.
So, Jack, thank you, and thank you to everybody. Talk
It's
us
my
just
pleasure.
quickly introduce the last song, and we'll say good night to everybody.
It's Van the Man, Van Morrison and Wavelength.
And why?
Just because he's the greatest.
That's all we need to
And
know.
it's just one of his many brilliant tracks.
You need to come back on, Jack.
I'd love to.
And thank you to everybody.
Yeah, thank you. Good night.
Good night.